The Women's Mentoring Program exists in alignment with the broader vision of Hope Community Church, which is to honor God by helping as many people as possible become fully devoted followers of Christ. In mentoring relationships, God enables women to come alongside each other in life-on-life relationships that offer opportunity for true significant impact. Hope Community Church values mentoring relationships as an opportunity for women to be heard, encouraged, challenged, and cared for spiritually by other women who are further along in their journey with Christ. Women who apply for the mentoring program are prayerfully matched and encouraged to meet with one another at least twice a month. The focus during their time together is on prayer, Bible application, and accountability.
I decided to become a mentor because when I was in college, I was mentored, and it was actually not the best experience, but definitely had great aspects of it. And when we first started Hope Community Church back 24 years ago, we were the eldest people there. We were elders, literally and figuratively, and we knew that these young college students coming in and young adults wanted to be mentored, and we took that role very seriously. I feel like it's a great way to help people become fully and wholly devoted followers of Jesus Christ.
Well, I've always believed in mentoring. In fact, I've been involved with a couple different organizations for mentoring kids back starting in college, and I'm in contact with one of my mentees to this day. And I always thought it'd be a nice thing to have for myself, actually. And when I asked for a mentor from Hope, I was a wife and a mom with young kids and felt like I was floundering a little bit and was just craving interaction and some wisdom from somebody who was just a little bit further ahead than me, and somebody who could encourage me and kind of give me some wisdom as I walked that road. And so I reached out and signed up for a mentor from Hope.
When I first met Suzanne, I was really attracted to her. First of all, she's got an awesome heart and very kind person, great personality. But what I thought might click is she worked for an adoption agency, and both my boys were adopted, and I was very intrigued by that. That was when I first met her, and then when she asked to be mentored and we connected, it felt like to me it might be a good fit. It was a lot of getting to know you at first, somewhat a little bit awkward, which is always when you first meet and get to know people. You need to build that base of trust, work through like the getting to know one another, and that's what it was like with Suzanne and I as well. And we really, that actually happened pretty quickly.
Well, Lorelei and I had some getting to know each other time. We really didn't know each other that well prior to meeting as an official mentor-mentee pair. So we spent some time getting to know each other, and each time looked different, honestly, because I had young kids, and sometimes we'd strap them in the stroller and go for a walk. I remember taking the kids to her house, and she lugged out all the toys her boys used to play with, and my kids played while we tried to have a conversation. And then as we got to know each other a little more and had some more heavier, deeper things to talk about, I would find childcare sometimes so that we could go to a coffee shop and have an adult conversation that was uninterrupted. And we started off meeting weekly, or at least regularly meet weekly if we could, which was really helpful in getting to know each other and having that consistency right off the bat.
So Suzanne and my relationship started out definitely as a mentor-mentee relationship, but definitely has grown into a friendship. I would call her a dear friend of mine today. We first started about 11 years ago, I believe, in this mentoring relationship. and it has changed throughout the years. It started out when my kids were older than hers, and she had one young one. So it made life a little easier to get together. But through the years, we used to meet every week, and then it was every other week. And then as our kids got older and we had to do a lot of driving around and getting daycare to try and meet, it became, further in between meetings, but we always made sure we got something on the calendar, planned ahead, worked around our schedules. Suzanne was always super flexible. When I was doing carpool and me with her young kids, sometimes we would meet at libraries to let the little kids play, or parks, in her home in the backyard, let the kids run around. So the type of mentoring that happened, where we mentored, what it looked like, interrupted, uninterrupted time, kids getting older, and now has grown into a friendship.
We have been together quite a while now, so there's been a lot of changes in both of our lives with our families, and just the more time we spent together, the more we've gotten to know each other, the deeper the trust level has come, the more things we've gone through together, good and bad, and now we still keep in touch. We don't get together regularly anymore, but I know she's always there for me if I ever need her. And we do check in on each other from time to time just to see what's happened since we last spoke and what's going on in each other's lives. And we have it's still mentor-mentee relationship, but it's grown into more than that. I consider her a very dear friend and somebody I can always count on and talk to whenever I need somebody to talk to. So it looks a little different from when we started, but it's still a great relationship and something I deeply value.
I would say one thing that I get is humbleness, meekness. When you mentor someone and you're working with them through an issue or a problem, or whether it, spend more time with Jesus, or move toward your husband, or working through kid issues, or whatever it might be, so many times I walked away thinking, I should probably do that too. That's really good advice for me too. So there's a real humbleness that comes from mentoring that I think builds fruit in your own spirit, no matter who you spend time with. So that has definitely been things that I've learned from her. And words of encouragement. That girl oozes encouragement. Like it just kind of flows out of her. And so I've always been encouraged by her. She's so gracious about that. But also, I've learned to be more encouraging to her and to others, and so definitely learned that from her.
One of the things I appreciate most about Lorelei is her ability to listen and ask tough questions, and the way she challenges me to see things a little differently and to always filter it through the gospel and what God has to say about it. And then also her accountability, checking back to see what I've done since our last meeting, how what hard conversations I've had to have, or what I've done differently, or those types of things. And I've really seen a lot of heart and attitude change on my part come from that, which has affected me personally. It's affected my marriage for the better. It's affected my relationships with other people, even my kids. And it's also given me, she's been a good role model for me of how to enter in conversations where you're challenging people because you love them and you don't want them to stay where they're at. And being able to do that in a really loving and caring way.
I think being a mentor is so rewarding. You get to spend time with some amazing people. You also get to learn a lot about them, but about yourself. It's which can be rewarding and a little hard at times and difficult. But it is a learning experience about yourself as you are walking alongside someone. When you walk beside someone through a difficult issue, a challenging time in their life, it challenges you, but it is the most rewarding thing to keep them accountable and to work with them and to see results, hopefully in positive ways, but to see how Jesus is working in their lives through you. That is hugely rewarding. It's one of the reasons I think a mentor-mentee relationship is a very special relationship, different than a lot of other friendships that you might have. That is a relationship that oftentimes is based a lot on someone who wants to invest in their personal growth with Jesus, who wants to hear hard things, who wants to be challenged, who wants to be held accountable. Sometimes our friends don't always do that, depending on what kinds of friends we have. That's what a mentoring relationship is. It's more than just telling people what they want to hear or agreeing with them. It is pushing them toward Jesus. It's pushing them to do hard things. It's pushing them to work on things in their life that maybe they've never told anyone else or haven't really come clean with themselves yet about. And that can be really hard, icky stuff to work through with someone, but so rewarding to see how God can use you in people's lives. So
I think everybody needs somebody in their life that they can feel safe with to talk about things that are difficult. And I just feel like it's so easy to be consumed by the world and to get sucked into what the world has to say instead of what God has to say. And having somebody that's able to walk alongside you, who really knows you and really cares and loves you enough to ask the tough questions and confront lies in your life with you, is just so invaluable. It's just so incredibly helpful having somebody to keep you accountable and just stay focused on what's really important. And I can't emphasize that enough, and I'm so grateful that I've had that in my life. And I would really encourage, if anybody's thinking about being a mentor, to do that too. When I signed up for Mentor at Hope, it did take a couple of years, and I was told at the time, well, there's not a lot of older women, and the ones we have don't seem to think they have anything to offer. And what I would say to anybody listening to this is that we all have something to offer to somebody. We all have life experiences. We all have our own personal stories of how God's worked in our lives, and we can share that. That's a gift we can share. And you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be someone who is able to keep what other people say confidential, and to be able to listen and spend the time getting to know somebody to the point where you can build that trust and start asking the tough questions, and it's just really rewarding on both sides. I can't recommend it enough, really.